Hi everyone and welcome to this tutorial on how to draw teeth. Understanding how to sketch teeth realistically can really bring your characters to life. So today we'll go step by step to help you master this essential skill. Let's get started. Before we get into the details, it's important to understand the basic structure of teeth. Teeth are not just flat shapes, they have curves and depth. First, let's sketch a basic outline of a mouth. I'm gonna start with a plus sign and then start by drawing a simple curved line to represent the upper lip, and below that, a simple curve to represent the lower lip. Now let's add the basic shapes of the teeth inside this outline. The top row of teeth should follow the curvature of the upper lip and the bottom row should align with the lower lip. Think of teeth as blocks with round edges, especially when drawing the molars. For now, don't worry about details. Just draw simple vertical lines to represent the tooth boundaries. Now, there are different types of teeth in a human mouth: incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Each has its own shape, so let's break them down quickly. Incisors are the flat, sharp teeth at the front of the mouth. They're used for cutting food. Canines are the pointed, fang like teeth located next to incisors. They help with tearing food. Premolars and molars are wider, flatter teeth found towards the back. They are used for grinding and crushing food. We'll start by sketching these in with rough rectangular or triangular shapes, making sure that the incisors are sharp and straight, while the molars are more square and wider. Make sure to refine those simple shapes because teeth have some natural curves, so add slight rounding at the edges of the incisors and molars. Pay attention to the canines. They have a more pronounced point, so make sure to exaggerate that for a more realistic look. The molars often have multiple ridges, so sketch a few lines along the edges to represent these. Also, notice how the top and bottom teeth align differently, with the top row slightly overlapping the bottom row. Try to replicate this slight asymmetry for a more natural appearance. Let's add some base color. Teeth are not pure white, they have subtle variations in color. Start by using a light cream or off white color for the base. Apply this color gently across the entire tooth surface, leaving the areas that will be highlights later. This base color gives us a good foundation to build upon. Don't forget to mirror the drawing to correct any inconsistencies in the initial stage. Add some shadows on the upper and the lower lip to make the lips look more natural. Let's move on to coloring the gums. Gums are typically a soft pink color, but their shade can vary depending on the lighting and environment. Start by applying a soft pink or light red color along the gum line where the gums meet the teeth. Blend it out so it fades gently into the surrounding areas. For a more realistic look, you can add a slightly darker pink or reddish brown at the bottom of the gums near the base where the shadows would naturally fall. Teeth have subtle shadows on the sides, especially near the gums. Use a light gray or light brown color to shade the areas where the teeth meet the gums and between the teeth themselves. You can also add a little shadow underneath the upper row of teeth to suggest the shadow cast by the upper lip. The key here is subtlety. You don't need to go too dark, just enough to create a sense of volume. You can blend these shadows gently into the base color to avoid any harsh lines. Add some shadows on the lower row of the teeth because the upper row overlaps it. I'm now going to draw over the sketch layer. I'll be using a lighter cream shade to shade over the teeth. This is a very time consuming process which requires a lot of patience, but once you're able to master it, you'll be able to capture any kind of teeth. While you can remove the sketch layer entirely, I choose to keep it. The idea is to keep the sketch lines as light as possible. This is so we can avoid making the teeth look dirty or brown. Now add some details on the lips. Now we're going to refine the shadows on the gums by using a detailing tool. Make them softer by using the smudge tool occasionally. Now add highlights on the areas of the gum which are slightly raised by using a lighter color. Refine the shape of the teeth. Try to make the edges of the teeth not sharp but smooth. Teeth have a shiny surface which means that they reflect light. To make the teeth look glossy and more lifelike, we need to add highlights. Use a white color or a very light yellowish color to add small touches of light to the top and the center of the teeth. These highlights should be small and subtle, just where the light would naturally hit. Be mindful to not overdo it. A little goes a long way. The highlight should be located on the part of the tooth that faces the light source, which is often the top and the outer edges. Add another layer and set it to multiply blending mode and add a few shadows on the edges. Finally, let's polish our drawing. Take a step back and see if there's anything that needs to be adjusted. You can add some very light, soft shading around the gums to make them blend more seamlessly with the teeth. If the teeth still looks too flat, darken the shadow areas and make the highlights pop a little more. And there you have it. Your teeth are now fully colored and looking realistic. Remember, coloring takes practice, so keep experimenting with different shading techniques and colors to find out what works best for your style. Thank you so much for watching this video.